Here are two separate answers to the end of unit test question, the 10-mark end of unit test question about immigration. The question said, how useful is source F for finding out about US attitudes and policies towards immigrants and immigration during the 1920s? The source is a speech to Congress by President Calvin Coolidge in 1923, which is a significant date, and essentially says that America should be kept American and kind of expresses isolationist views. Now, here are two different answers which say different things and have different strengths. Now, this first answer here starts off well with a clear summary of the source, making a couple of good inferences. It then has some really good knowledge, so it talks about the Emergency Quota Act, immigration, American attitudes to immigration, and also looks at the flip side here and uses knowledge to disagree with the source. So it talks about Al Capone and how, in fact, some immigrants were seen in America and society as kind of popular celebrities. Where this answer then falls down, though, is the statement about the provenance here literally states the provenance and says that it's one-sided, however, then doesn't go on to explain this or reach a conclusion. The second answer here is almost exactly the opposite. So you can see here, this answer states that this is a speech by Calvin Coolidge, but doesn't go on to explain the provenance here, and essentially that is wasted words there, because it just copies out something which you can see that's written in the question. Then furthermore, then this bit's okay. It kind of states what the source is saying. Then there is no use of knowledge here to agree or disagree with the source. But there is a good statement here about the provenance, so it could be argued the source is useful because it's a speech given by the US president who's been elected by the people of America, and this could show that the majority of the American people share his views. Now, this is quite good. It would be improved if it then went on to talk about the fact that Calvin Coolidge was an isolationist politician and a Republican, and so was having maybe only representing a limited number of Americans. And of course also needs a conclusion. Of these two answers, this one here is probably the better one. Maybe getting 6 out of 10, something along those lines. This answer here, though, if you merged it to the other answer and take this bit of provenance and added it, you'd then have an answer that would be more like 8 out of 10. If it added a conclusion, would be near to full marks. Consequently, if you put the two answers together, if you took this section and added it here, or this section and added it here, you'd have a really good answer, and that's something to bear in mind when writing your own responses to this end of unit test.